Okay, see that? See that farm right there? So this could have been my farm. I'm actually in Orwell, Vermont, and a really good friend of mine's father has a farm just down the road that-a-way. And as a kid, I used to come up there and hang out at his farm every so often. When I first got the dream of owning a farm in Vermont, this farm right here behind me was the farm that I envisioned owning. And I worked to put together a plan to buy the farm or try to make an offer for the farm. And I really had it in my heart that this was gonna be the place that was gonna be my farm. Like, this was gonna be the farm in Vermont. So everything you see behind me here, all the pasture that you see over here, see all this stuff. It's a huge piece of property. It goes really far back out there. And it's got this really cool old barn. I was really excited about it. I had this dream of making this the place. The house itself was gonna need a lot of work, but that didn't bother me because just this property and everything about it was what I dreamed about. And for like a year, this is what I thought was gonna be the farm. The only problem was when I took Allison up here and showed her the farm and showed her the farmhouse, she absolutely hated it.
It didn't need a renovation. It needed an exorcism. It was very dark and dirty. I did not like it at all.
So we ended up not getting the farm. I had pinned my hopes and dreams on this place. I'd spent hours dreaming about what sort of agricultural enterprises I would pursue and how I'd be able to set the place up and how I would do rotational grazing patterns along the pasture and my visions for how I would restore the barn and my visions for how I'd restore the house. I have like files still on my computer that outline in detailed ways how I would ultimately have used this farm. And to be fair, it wasn't just the fact that Allison was absolutely appalled by the house. In order to buy this farm, it was going to require this very complicated real estate transaction that would have taken a lot of time, and I most likely would not actually even be able to own the farm at this point a couple of years later. So, you know, there were just a number of strikes against this farm. And when we couldn't buy the farm, I got to admit, I was really, really bummed. But the dream of starting a farm in Vermont wasn't dead yet. It just simply wasn't going to be this farm. And so together, Allison and I went and we started the process of researching and trying to figure out which farm or which type of farm that we would actually want. And that's how we ended up stumbling on our place, Goldshaw Farm. With all of the friends that we've made in the area around our farm, with all of the great experiences that I've had, you know, working on our farm, and really the major lifestyle shifts that we've made to be closer to the farm, all of those came from the place that we ended up buying, not the place that I was dreaming of buying. I mean, like the second that we drove up and Allison saw the big wraparound porch and the barn and the land, like it was love at first sight. There wasn't debate, there wasn't any questions. We were totally set on making this place our home and our farm. So the reason I'm telling you guys all this is because, you know, I think it's important to recognize that it's great to have a big dream. And when you have a big dream, you often start to anchor yourself in specific details related to that dream. But when you're doing that, it's also important to be a little bit flexible and a little bit open to whatever opportunity might come your way. I guess my point is, dream big, but keep an open mind, because you never know what amazing things might come from it.